So I kind of want to go try out this infinity GIF. I like simplicity, minimalism, and I used this before. I think it was one of my first 5 live streams. Only used it once until I changed it to this one and this one right here. I like that sense of minimalism, so I'm just gonna experiment for this one. I've been thinking about reusing this for a long time now. Anyways, I'm just gonna get everything set up. Gonna do like a, your audio test, and I'm gonna go share the. I'm going to share the. Okay, good. It's doing that right now. Oh, cool. There's already 2 people watching. Great. Thank you for liking the live stream already. Yeah, so audio seems to be working fine. All I have to go do now is just share the live stream. And yeah, I'm just gonna mute my mic. Okay, we are live. Nothing too much to go start off with this live stream, like a list of things to talk about. Yeah, this is, I believe, part 4 of the Picture of the Day live stream series, and it's not necessary for you to watch every single one. There's no need for that. And yeah, I'm I've been doing this for more than 11 hours now. Like the total length, like the calling all designers thread, that took roughly 11 plus hours to go do. And 11 hours later with Picture of the Day, I'm not even close to being done. So yeah, a lot of things to go talk about. I'm still in season 1 of Picture of the Day. We're still looking at the old photos, and we haven't even looked into the newer photos. Last video that I did, it was relating to the Time Squad video, so I hope you check that out. I'm really excited for that one. And I was doing a lot of research, a lot of discussion with people on the forums as well as on Discord. The Discord link is inside of the description, as well as the universal item guide. And funnily enough, hopefully Champ is watching this right now, or at least in the future. Champ and I, we were talking about, for the people who don't know who Champ DF is, he's a good friend of mine, and he's done a lot of great things. He was actually watching my Ben 10 update live stream for like 7 hours, I think, and he has a lot of accomplishments, like second person to become level 36. He has I don't know, like 8 plus level 36s. He has like the world record speed run attempt, and a bunch of other stuff. And here we were just like discussing, like, if there's going to be like brand new levels. If you don't get to be the first one to be level 37 to 40, I bet you're going to be the first person to have an entire account / all 4 characters be that level, similar to what you did when Time Traveler beat you. And then he's asking me, doing video editing, tough life. I don't know how you do it. Yeah, so before I had my gaming PC, I was really miserable. Rendering a 30-minute video would literally be, I'm not exaggerating, be 6 hours long because I had a non-gaming PC. It's not built for gaming. It only costed several $100s. So it's more in terms of like the budget side. Now with my gaming PC, I can now render 30-minute videos in roughly 30 minutes. So I'm really happy about that. I'm really grateful that I have this computer. But that's just the rendering part. But when it comes to like the actual video editing, most notable examples would have to be my legendary grinding results, where each video minimum took 20 hours long, or at most 30 hours long of video editing. So like the grinding process took 10 hours and 10 hours total, whereas the video editing process would take 2 to 3 times as long. So there's a lot of massive heavy editing, and it's honestly very frustrating. And it's one of the main reasons why I've decided to stay away from massive editing and move towards a form of live streaming. Now, last live stream, I was talking about, I did an experiment where I sped up the previous live stream, which was, I was talking about Time Squad for an hour and a half, and I was looking into the analytics of some of my previous live streams, and like the audience retention rate, it was pretty low, roughly around 40%. That's pretty low by my standards. So what I did was I made the Time Squad live stream, which was again 1.5 hour long, and I made it 2.5 times shorter. I did that by making it 1.5 times faster, as well as cutting out those unnecessary parts, such as searching up like the reference material. But yeah, editing is very difficult, and if I can give it from a scale of 1 out of 10, I would give it like a 2 out of 10, or a 1 out of. I would give it a 1 out of 5. I really don't like editing. Even like when it came to trimming my last video, that took a long time. Anyways, that's enough about that. We can now start officially part 4 of Picture of the Day. It is 11:38 p.m. September 17, 2019, and it's kind of early in terms of my live streaming, because I generally live stream at midnight, or like 1 in the morning or 2 in the morning. So it's more on the early side. It is currently Tuesday, and I'll be ending around Wednesday. I want to make this an hour long. No, I'm sorry, 3.5 hours long each. Okay, so let's begin. Not that one right there. Oh yeah, I need to put this right there. There's the Oswald 12, and there's going to be a timestamp in the comments when I officially begin. Okay, so last time we were looking at like page 5, or actually it's technically, because it's in reverse order, we were looking at page 3 out of 7. So now we're looking at page 4 out of 7, and hopefully after 3.5 hours we can go through all of these photos and discuss. So normally what I would do is I would look at the photo, I would have some first impressions of the photo, and I would look into the first 3 pages if I can have, if there's something interesting that I didn't realize, and I would give some potential suggestions. All right, so here we have our first photo for part 4, Dexter's Family Robot, which was posted September 7, 2016. Now this is actually one of my favorite photos. My webcam is blocking the This is one of my favorite photos in terms of picture of the day because it looks really cool. It's really green, and it makes me kind of wonder: is this an area placed somewhere at the Darklands? It looks like it's going to be an area that's like in the level 30s and beyond. There's a lot of greenery going on here. Why is this? There's a lot of greenery going on here. And it looks to me that this looks to be it looks to be some probably at Green Mall, because this reminds me of Dexter's ship. This one right here, this is again like the coolest part. It's one of Dexter's robotic armory, and the background definitely does remind me again of like when you go inside of Fuse's lair, and you have these mountainous ranges inside of that lair, and it appears to me this is probably some sort of floating rock. Okay, so let me just go close this and yeah. Let's go and look into the comments. The scenery is spectacular green gullet. If this is the area, looks vastly improved. Yes, I if that is correct. Another angle of the future tech square. Maybe the robot will be freed and utilized in the tutorial. It could also be green gullet. It's hard to tell. Both are basically a sea of fusion matter and have Dexter's ship. Yeah, that's a good thing that I didn't realize, because during the tutorial, at the ending of the tutorial you were on Dexter's ship, so we could potentially this is not the Darklands such as Green Maw or Green Gullet. It's actually in the far future, and it makes me kind of wonder how the developers are going to change the future. Like, are we going to have levels 1 to 4, or are they going to try and expand it and perhaps make it levels 1 to 8, or they're just going to add in a bunch of more interesting areas within that place? And it's something to go look forward to. I'm really curious what this robot is going to be. He might have some sort of significant role for a mission or two, and it would be really cool if they can actually animate this robot. It would be somewhat disappointing if he can't move at all, but just having the structure here is definitely a treat. Never played the whole game. But since the devs have confirmed at least 40 levels, this probably won't be the highest infected zone anymore. Anyways, it looks absolutely amazing. 1 picture of the day plus 2 devlogs. Okay. So did they actually confirm there's going to be 40 more levels? And I brought this up a few times when it comes to picture of the day, and I believe with the Calling All Designers live stream series. And I always found it kind of odd that when you beat the game, you end at level 36. It's a very oddly specific number. For example, it's like you see a speed limit and it says the speed limit is oddly 53 miles per hour or 53 kilometers per hour. That's kind of odd. And it's one of the things that kind of bothered me. I mean, I would be a lot more satisfied if it actually ended at a much more evened number, such as 35. And obviously 35 is not an even number. And there's an interesting post that I saw on Reddit, Shower Thoughts, I believe, and it was stating about the concept of 5. So Shower Thoughts. 5 is an honorary right here. 5 is like an honorary even number. Really, I think it's just that the factors of 10 are all treated equally. 1, 2, 5, and 10. 5 is also the worst number of people to go to a theme park together. Oh. A-E-I-O-U, and sometimes 5. This is the kind of stuff that I subscribe for. Yeah, because it's like between 0 and 10, like 5 is in the middle. But anyways, just going back into like, I always found it kind of odd that it ends at level 36 and not at like level 35. I think a lot of there's that sort of OCD mentality with it. I think it would be better if it ended at level 35, or perhaps they extended it further to level 40. Now, regarding future levels for FusionFall Legacy, I talked about this before, and I think it's very likely that they are going to add new levels, and if they don't, that's going to be one of the most disappointing things that they will ever do to us as a community. Now, I think there's going to definitely be like at least 40 levels. I mean, if we can just go into FusionFall Nanos, like we definitely have like the nano files necessary to not even create brand new nanos, but to reuse older nanos during like the Academy era, which is like, you know, Van Kleist, Finn, Generator Rex, Alien X, Gumball, Darwin, Mordecai, Rigby, Princess Bubblegum, and a whole bunch of other characters. So if they really wanted to, they don't even have to create brand new nanos from scratch. They can just reuse existing nano files and do that instead. Now, please correct me if I'm wrong. I believe like during the end of FusionFall, there was like I don't know, like 50 nanos. So if they really wanted to, they could literally just have like 50 levels, and they don't have to create a brand new nano. Think about that. But from what I've read, and don't quote me on this because this did not come from like an official staff member. It was from someone on the forums. They stated that there's going to be like primary nanos, and there's going to be secondary nanos. And what primary nanos are like the must-have nanos in order for yourself to go level up. And like the secondary nanos are the nanos in which you don't need to go get them. And if you do have them, that's just, you know, that's just great to go. That's just great to have. My voice is kind of dry right now. I kind of feel like I want to get some water. So I'll be right back. Yeah, it won't be too long. Yeah, probably should have drank some water before this. Are they referring to this one? Where's Dexter's outfit? Oh, I thought they were actually referring to something. They're referring to this outfit right here. Let's search Google for the image. Oh, that's great. It doesn't show any photos, but this is what it's referencing to. And maybe we can try and go Dexter Family Go. Try and search up for some video footage of this. Hold on. I'll Okay, my water is done. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I can't find any photos for this, but it's a good thing that Emperor Ectoshock managed to show a photo of this, and actually be pretty cool. It reminds me of like the dodgeball outfit that Dexter was wearing. Where is that? What's it called? Dexter's laboratory dodgeball. This outfit right here, and I thought it was really cool that we can actually, use this as a guide set item, and it would be pretty cool if we can have this as a guide set item as well. So after we get like the Samurai Jack outfit, we can get something like this for like levels 37 and beyond. Here's another pretty interesting robotic outfit from Kids Next Door. This uses the senior citizen outfit. The one on top, I believe, would have to be number 2's grandma and some of her friends. We both know that Fuse has a habit of making giant robots corrode away to their doom, and he's definitely referencing to Magus XLR. And it kind of makes me wonder, assume that Symbiotic Titan came out around the same time as Magus XLR, or Magus never existed, and in its place would have to be Symbiotic Titan. And for the ones that don't know what that show is, because Symbiotic Titan, I think this was another show created by Genndy Tartakovsky, also the guy who, program creators Genndy Tartakovsky. Well, he was heavily involved. He was the guy behind Samurai Jack, heavily involved in Powerpuff Girls, and the one behind Dexter's Laboratory. So yeah, it makes me kind of wonder if if Magus XLR never existed and its place was actually Symbiotic Titan. I think the one that would be at Goat's Junkyard is actually would actually be this guy instead to take its place. And I'm not sure, wasn't this dude also inside of like the Academy? And let's just very quickly look into YouTube. So, okay, so FusionFall, Mount Everest. Hopefully someone made a video of this. Okay, this one has 22,000 views. And I believe there was, the Symbiotic Titan was actually there. Oh, okay, here, interestingly enough, the model is actually, I just relearned this. The model is at at Mount Everest as well. So this is not a brand new model. It's at Mount Everest, and probably they're gonna reuse models here at they're gonna reuse models for Mount Everest. Like these statues right here, they're going to reuse them. Hopefully, I know they're right there. They're right there. They're standing there. And I'm not great. They're not. This guy's not showing it. We have these tanks right here. Okay, yeah, this was inside of the FusionFall Legacy trailer. If you can remember Mojo Jojo, and let's just very quickly go there right now. Okay, YouTube, FusionFall Legacy trailer. And somewhere around, yeah, this one right here. we have this tank right here, Factor Con Carne, and we have this tank right here. As you can see, it's the same exact tank that we see at Mount Everest. So I actually thought this was a brand new design, but it looks like it's actually the same model found at Mount Everest. So that's something I recently learned. Hopefully this this Mount Everest video can actually show us some other interesting stuff. So they can probably also reuse like the Rainbow Road here. Also reuse like the water fountain here. Probably also reuse the nano stations here as well. Another possible thing that they can reuse would be these large stone statues. It would be a complete waste if they ever did not use that. Okay, this guy is going to go to that area. Actually, no. Oh, there he is. Yeah, there's the symbiotic titan right there. He's a lot smaller, but I never watched a single episode of the show, so he can probably downscale himself. So we have Ilana, and we have Lance. Oh, that's really cool. And we have Generator Rex in the middle. You know, to be honest, I honestly think like the Academy gets a lot of hate, but I think a lot of that comes from, you know, nostalgia, and it comes from preference. I honestly think that the Academy is actually pretty good. It's well designed, and it's a lot more straightforward. And especially when you're at the end, which is you know, Mount Everest, you see a lot of these really cool structures. And this was way back in, when was this posted? That was a long time ago. 2012. Here's another angle of credit to Leo Torres for this one right here. Okay, hopefully, hold on, go speed up the video. Credit to this guy for the video. Okay, here's another angle of the Dex bot right here. That's really cool. And here's like the statues that we see. So that's really cool. I'm honestly really happy to know that they're reusing some existing models. This one right here is another reference to like the Justice Friends. He's like White Panther, I think. This is probably Kronk, you know, another reference to the Justice Friends. I think it's really cool that they have this here. But yeah. Oh, okay, this is very detailed. I really like how when you enter like Mount Everest, you see all of these characters here, and as you can see right there, we have that mosquito model at the bottom, which we've seen in a previous live stream, which was you know, reused. Actually, Mount Everest is very rich in terms of structures. So far, no one has actually mentioned this. I do believe this is the green gullet infected zone. Here's the picture of the day transmission loss, which was confirmed to be in the future tech square. Oh. And then here is this image. The ladder has a giant floating chunk of rock with a big ship in it. Ladder, so we have former is first, ladder is last, which is, you know, second. The ladder has a giant floating chunk of rock with a big ship in it. Not Dexter's airship, this one right here, okay? Weird mountains in the background, and most importantly, the airship itself is very close to the ground as opposed to the previous image. The airship is very close to the ground, okay? This is definitely the green gullet. Probably, yeah, we have floating rocks of a building right there. It's interesting that no one actually brought this up, that it's a reused structure. So going back to this episode right here, Go Dexter Family Go, I haven't really seen the episode. It makes me wonder how dad and mom, Dexter's parents, are going to be involved. You know, as we can see with that giant mech outfit, probably they were actually inside of this outfit, and they're probably, you know, like wandering around. Uh, yeah, that's a possible reason. So Dexter's mom could be inside. Okay, let's go into the next photo. We talked about this for a long time now, and the next one would have to be the catacombs. Something excited about because oh, we have this structure again. The Caponata catacombs extend under the nowhere desert. You can venture inside through doors like these. Oh, okay. This one was posted by Latica Sola, so it was not CT Stevie nor Emperor Ectoshock this time. That's a big wump for those two. All right, so that's really cool. We have they're going to reuse this structure again. Now, there's this kind of deserves its own video idea, and there's a theory that this door right here, it actually leads into Fuse's lair. And there's a good reason for that as well. Now, what's interesting about this one right here was that we see these giant stone structures, which is found at the top of nowhere. Now, so we have good reason to believe that this is actually the door to Fuse's lair. The main reason why is because if you go inside of Fuse's lair and you were to go on top of like the mount, and if you're like take out your jump and rocket nano and go to like the mountainside area, and you can actually see parts of the catacombs. It's actually really interesting, and it's honestly a shame that we have this giant structure here. It looks really huge and really amazing, and yet there's no significance for it. You know, it'd be really cool if we can actually have some sort of like a warp. Like we can actually warp in here and find out what's actually inside. Hopefully, like the legacy developers can work out the plot for this. I can see a faint planet Fuse. Ah, yes, it's right there. Right there. Let's go close this one. Yeah, it's right around here. Yeah, very faint. That's great eye, great attention to detail. Forgot the caption. How do you open the door? I think you're just going to. I think this kind of reminds me of like the Ben 10 update and how you need to go get access codes to go inside of the No Void. And I think it would be pretty cool if it works the same way with the door that we see here as well. So probably like there's fusions roaming around outside at the catacombs, and if you kill it, it actually drops an access code, not an access code, but like a key to go inside of here. And probably like the biggest one is that is that once you go inside, it actually is the gatekeeper boss, the gatekeeper world boss. Now, the gatekeeper boss is actually one of the most anticipated things that the community is looking forward to, and it's probably going to be like the last world boss that's going to be implemented, or like one of the last ones. Now, for the ones who don't know who the gatekeeper is, fortunately, someone by the name of Luther Fall Angel managed to document it many years ago. FusionFall Gatekeeper. This was 7 years ago. It's a credit to the late Luther Fall Angel. He posted this September 20, 2011. Oh, that's just 2 days. 2 days after. So here's this really cool video. Again, credit to him. And he's really super duper massive. one of the craziest finds inside of the game files. And what's amazing about this is that he's so huge, you can actually go on top of him. You can climb him. That's how huge he is. As you can see right there, he's taking out Finn, he's jumping on top of it, and he's literally on top of the monster. That is insane. Really insane. Luther Fall Angel looked into inside of the game's files, and he discovered this. And there was an interesting post. Why do people dislike this stuff? It doesn't make any sense. This guy's showing you something remarkable. There was a conversation I had with Devin on the forums, and I was asking him, like, what are your thoughts with, like, when you discovered these world bosses? This was the time when Devin was not known as Devin, but he was known as Wiltilt. So hopefully I can go find that image, FusionFall world bosses, because images, here it is. This is a photo that I actually made, and before I made this photo, people were actually giving it incorrect names. I don't know why until like Devin corrected it. But yeah, I was having a brief conversation with Devin about this. And people were thinking he was called Fusion Hero, and Devin stated his actual name is Injustice Foe. Let's go to page 2, or yeah, some interesting information about this. Do any of the other monsters on the image use their internal names? Shipwreck and Charmeleon don't sound official names. Going left to right, down by row, the actual names are Gatekeeper, Injustice Foe, Shipwrecker, Stone Scorpion, Column Colossus, and Dark Horntail. So the one that we have right now, this is kind of dated, because at the time the Dark Horntail was not released, but the Shipwrecker was definitely released, I believe. So we're definitely waiting for the Injustice Foe, the Gatekeeper, the Stone Scorpion, and the Column Colossus. This kind of deserves its own video as well. So this guy, Sonic94, he was asking Devin, well, where the heck did the other names come from then? Back when I figured out how to do this in the original game, and back when Devin was known as Wiltilt, I was effectively replacing graphics of existing mobs and not just placing these things and looking at them. As a result, I was only familiar with these mysterious internal names and not the names that are presented when you highlight the mob. That name still appeared as the mob I had replaced. Alright, so here's the photo that I made. And I asked him, what was your reaction when you discovered it? Is it like discovering something forbidden? The initial reaction was excitement to see these mobs come to the game in future updates. After maybe a year or so passed without update though, I realized these were just things that were tossed aside in favor of other things. So these are like really cool potential monsters that could be inside of the game. Now I think that Column Colossus actually appeared in FusionFall Heroes as one of the monsters that you would have to go try and defeat. And then that was the last time that Devin posted, or page 3. Did he post again? Here's another interesting question. Was the Party Popper an unused boss too? Now, for the ones who don't know who the Party Popper is, let's go to my YouTube channel, Infinite Possibilities Taros. This one right here. How to attain 15,000 Taros every 10 minutes. So the Party Popper was this world boss that appeared during the 2019 birthday bash, which celebrated the 10-year anniversary of the game. This is what the Party Popper looked like. It's this really huge blob, and when you kill it, it drops these these dudes right here. Now, Now, no, they were definitely programmed to go drop these, and these guys are really rich in HP. It takes a lot of people to go defeat them. They're very, very bulky. Now, so the person was asking, was the Party Popper an unused boss too? The Party Popper was an interesting one. There were 3 unused turret-style mobs left over in the game, being the Spore Leaf turret, which was scaled up and used for the Party Popper, a stone turret, and a metal pyramid turret. The pyramid was eventually used in Vilgax's ship, but the other 2 never saw the light of day. I bet we'll find a use for the stone turret at some point down the line. It was definitely the coolest of the 3. Now, again, this deserves its own unique video. I don't really want to go too much into this, but yeah, it's very, very fascinating to go look into. Now, I think it's notable that the catacombs are no longer underground, since you can see Planet Fuse in the sky. I wonder if you're still forced to warp there. Probably. Yes, Catacombs is getting a facelift. Did I mention I'm not a fan of the Catacombs? Was anybody? Yeah, so a question that kind of often appears, at least like once a month, would have to be the question of like, what's your least favorite area inside of the game? And almost always the most common answer would have to be the Kapanata catacombs, or in other words, the upper or lower catacombs. Now, there's a good reason for why. There's many great reasons for why a lot of people don't like that place. In no particular order of importance. So the catacombs is it's a place where you can easily get lost. It's so huge. There's monsters everywhere, and especially when you do it around I don't know, like level 26 or like what level is the catacombs? Especially when you do it in your mid 20s, and since there's a lot of monsters everywhere, it's very easy for you to die. And especially for first time players that reach that area, it's very you can easily get lost. Even if you open up the map, you can still get lost. And to make matters worse is that, like, you know, the eggplant mission and like the chicken mission, like if you were to go to their base, and if you open up the map, that red circle thing, it actually is misleading you. It doesn't. It literally does show you where they're located, but what they could have done was place that red dark marker where the warp entrance portal is located, but instead they didn't do that. Another thing that makes the catacombs one of the least favorite places inside of the game would have to be like the irrelevance of the missions within that area. If you were to go inside of the catacombs, we have this feud between the chickens of outer space and the mutant eggplants. They're having this little war with each other, and it has no relevance to the core plot of the story. It's more like this. It's more like these two giant areas that can totally be skipped. Now, when I was originally leveling up my character Plumber Infinity, I completely avoided the catacombs, and I decided to go do that last, because I decided to do that last when I was like level 34, level 35, when I was reaching those grinding level walls, and it makes it a lot easier, but in a way it's still very annoying. Now it makes me kind of wonder like how they're going to improve the catacombs. We definitely see this photo here, but yeah, it makes me wonder, is the catacombs, like, do you have to go warp there through like that through that tunnel? Is this a place where you can just easily walk into? Are there going to be like a Monkey Skyway agent, or like a scamper, or like a teleportation service? But yeah, it makes me look forward to like of what we can see here. let's go and look into this. But how do you open? This is a Pokemon right there. Yes, it is a Pokemon. Man, the Door to Darkness has gotten way more menacing since it last showed up in the world that never was. What does that mean? The world that never was. The world that never... Ah, this is Kingdom Hearts. This is a Kingdom Hearts location. Reconnection successful. I don't know why that's 4500. So probably place this at 4500 video bit rates, and we can probably place this into max performance. That's very rare that it's happening. Another thing that I can do is, yep, that's pretty much it. Hopefully I won't get another disconnect. That was completely random. Anyways, yes, this is, when you gaze deeply upon the structure of those gates, it looks like the kind of entry that the minute it opens and all hostile God breaks loose, you see this monster all of a sudden come right at you. Yes, and it's a huge shame that this is blocked by Photobucket. And it's a great thing that Emperor, this guy brought it up. But yeah, just imagine you have this key. It actually leads you into here. Okay. Let's see. What the crud? I enjoy its isolation and atmosphere. That would be quite interesting. I have a family member awake right now. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, so you shall not pass. And I was talking about this on the forums. Like if the gatekeeper were to ever be implemented inside of the game, I think an obvious location would have to be the Darklands. But I can definitely see this. I can definitely see him being located inside of this area as well. Because this is a door, and for the ones that ever watched the anime Bleach, during like the second arc where Ichigo Kurosaki and his friends have to go to the Soul Society, before they enter the inner gates, there's a huge massive wall, and hopefully I can very quickly search that up. Bleach wall episode. Who's that guy? I forgot his name. That's gonna take a while, but it's not really worth it. But it definitely does remind me of that. The catacomb door actually does something now. I'm just trying to mentally make sense of Nowhere's geography. We have Area 51.1, and Courage is housed in the dead middle of a desert. The tar pits connecting to the Darklands, and evidently we now have rocky areas with high enough faces to have old apertures doors installed. Actually, the door might be fairly average size after all. Looking big or small is just a matter of perspective. Should Nowhere be way bigger than before? Like I've been thinking, maybe the catacombs serve as a shortcut to jump around the area quicker. Nowhere is like 4 times the size now. Nowhere is like 3 to 4 times larger in area than Fusion. What? But Nowhere is definitely huge. How does the gatekeeper come at you? It's in chains. It's a gatekeeper. It stays in one place so people can't enter the gate. Okay. I was going to say something about the gatekeeper, but I definitely forgot what I was going to go say. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. We're going to look into the curved roads, which is a very special photo right here. Very groundbreaking. And this is posted October 5, 2016. And we have curved roads. They may not look like it, but streets have always been one of the toughest challenges we've been working on the game. New to FusionFall Legacy, curved roads. And okay. I can't believe it took them so long to give the spotlight to the game's most important feature of all. And now the moment you've been waiting for. Aesthetically pleasing to me. Okay, let's just look into this. Yeah, we have a road, and it's definitely curved. Nothing too much to see here. It's just there's that significance for it, and I kind of brought this up in a previous live stream, and it was regarding Halo Reach, and it was regarding like the fans were overreacting with the introduction that you can actually drive inside of a movable vehicle. Fan reaction, forklift. It was a forklift they were freaking out about. Is it this one? Yeah. I think it was this one right here. So again, credit to Penguin Zero. It has 3.92 million subs. But I think it was like the fans were like overreacting and were really happy they can actually be inside of the. Oh, here it is. Here's the one right here. Yeah, this one right here. The fans were overreacting when this came out. It's a minor thing, but it's a huge deal in terms of like Halo. In terms of Halo. Now, let's go into Hey Guacamole. Yeah, that's my impression from Sector V. Oddly calming to look at. Rogues. YouTube. Okay, I can't play that for copyright. This brought tears to my eyes. Beautiful. Water is wet. Now, interestingly enough, I was reading this article about is water actually wet? And interestingly, like when your body has water, like when you take a bath, such as like taking a shower, you're not actually wet. You have the sensation of feeling wet. Is water wet? Is water wet? Yes, water isn't wet by itself, but it makes other materials wet when it sticks to the surface of them. Here's one from UC San Bernardino. Being a liquid, water is not itself wet, but can make other solid materials wet. Wetness is the ability of a liquid to adhere, to attach itself to the surface of a solid. So when we say that something is wet, we mean that the liquid is sticking to the surface of a material. So it's one of these counterintuitive things. Upon closer inspection, common sense is actually defies itself. Now, speaking about common sense, this kind of does bring me back into the world of psychology. A lot of people say that psychology is kind of like common sense, but ironically enough, it's not, because if you're to think of common sense in terms of like psychology and in terms of dreams, like if you were to go back into the 1800s, if you were to have like a dream that you were going to do X, Y, or Z, they probably think that it's going to be a prophecy fulfilled, or curved roads. That's because there were none. Beautiful. Making my way downtown. Was that Miley Cyrus who made that one? This became a meme faster than it should have. Wow. Mind blown with that, like. Okay, let's go to the next one right here. Nothing too much to go talk about. curved roads, Dee Dee's garden, and okay, we have this. Dee Dee's organic herb garden lies near the back of her yard, so really could use her help defending it from the tech tunnelers. This was posted October 3, 2016. Okay, so imagine this photo is animated, and I fortunately have the where is it? That's not the one. Legacy photos. We're looking into the GIFs. We're looking into this one right here. So this is a GIF of a rotating sprinkler, and it's not much, kind of similar to like the curved roads thing, but just imagine with me that this picture is animated and it's actually spinning and it's watering these plants. Yeah, there's nothing too much to it, and this is apparently behind like Dee Dee's house, so it's probably located at like Dexter's, or I'm sorry, at Genius Grove. Something to probably think about. Pinkest plant available, and plant 40 of them after seeing the house. Now, if you can actually remember, in a previous live stream, I was like, one of the photos was like Dee Dee's house was completely messed up. Hopefully I can go find it right here. Probably this one right here. Dee Dee's house. Yes, this was posted way back in August 11. Now, this one was like October, so August. Okay, yeah. This was the previous photo of Dee Dee's house. And so probably it's stating that at the back of this house would have to be this garden right here. And a potential mission that I wouldn't be surprised, so think of Dee Dee's Dilemmas, one of the world missions, is that Dee Dee's plants, Fuse's monsters are attacking her plants, and she needs you to go kill these monsters she needs you to go scare away these monsters so her plants can grow. I can definitely see that as a mission, as like one of those easy missions you have to do when you're at a Genius Grove. Okay, let's go back to the photo. It's particularly hard for me to imagine Dee Dee's garden not having any flowers in it. Although one has doubts that Dee Dee could actually keep any plant alive. If she could, I can't believe that she would not have a huge botanical display of carnations and pinks, roses and ranunculus, sweet peas and snapdragons in splendiferous floral profusion. Wow, that is poetry right there. What is a ranunculus? What is that? Ranunculus. Oh, it's a buttercup. Ranunculus is a genus of about 500 species of flowering plants in the family Ranunculaceae. Members of the genus are known as buttercups, spearworts, and water crowfoots. What do they look like? Why don't you give me up, buttercup baby, so you let me down? Don't mess me around. I actually had to learn that song when I was in choir in 10th grade. So these are what these ranunculuses look like. And you know what? Tan definitely does have a point. Why is there not a huge variety of plants here? It just looks like a very ordinary garden, and it's kind of disappointing that there's no actual flowers here. So yeah, props to Tan for that observation, or the lack of detail included inside of this photo. You use about, okay, I don't want to talk about that. So I'm not I'm not allowed to use gargantuan words. So when I was growing up, when I was in middle school, I was actually one of those people who used those thesaurus words. And let's go to thesaurus.com. Thesaurus. I was one of those words. I was one of those nerds who try to make themselves sound smart. What's a good word? Okay, let's think of a word for awesome. Disable, no. And I would be one of those kids who would say, instead of awesome, I find this very formidable. I find this very stupefying. I was one of those guys when I was in middle school. And then I realized, in terms of like practicality, a lot of people kept asking, what are you talking about? Like, what does that mean? And so in terms of, pragmatic stuff, and it kind of makes it sound pretentious, I decided to, just talk the way that I'm talking right now, as if I'm talking to like an ordinary person who doesn't understand these words. When I was in middle school, I actually attended a spelling bee, and I got pretty far. So yeah, okay, let's go into page 2. I bet Dee Dee will have some mission requiring us to get her seeds or some up. That was kind of similar to what I predicted as well. Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed they used the most boring looking plants for Dee Dee's garden. Now, again, just a reminder, these are photos that are 3 years out of date, season 1, and that a lot of the photos that you see here, they're bound to have dramatically changed. Eat your vegetables and don't complain. Having a big vocabulary is cool. Dee Dee's herb garden. Spray paint the herbs. That goes spray painted pink. Okay, and this picture of the day is referring to an old mission where you prevented monsters from destroying Dee Dee's garden. Oh, okay. I actually kind of predicted it. This could be updated with the same tower defense idea I had with the radar dish. Oh yeah, so a potential world mission is that there's going to be like a time mission where monsters are going to like attack the area, and like the garden has its own HP pool, and you have to go kill X amount of monsters in a certain amount of time before the garden is damaged. And I think that would be a pretty cool, interesting game mechanic to kind of spicing up the missions. Okay, let's continue reading. I get it, snap. Get it? Get, snap? Okay, I don't get it. Okay, let's just go into the... Close this tab. Curved roads, Dee Dee's garden, infected basketball court. Okay. October 10, 2016. This is one of the pretty cool photos. This definitely looks like it's probably at downtown, or next possible location would have to be the suburbs. It's pretty cool that there's a terrafuge right there. Things is definitely infected. If you go right there, there's another terrafuge there as well. Basketball court. If you zoom in, those are basketballs right there. So this is actually pretty cool. I don't think right now we don't have any basketball courts inside of the game, and so themselves including this, that would be really cool as well. Now another kind of thing is, like, imagine this photo is animated. So we see these, right? These square things. Yeah, imagine this is animated and these lines are actually moving back and forth. So this is going also here. This line is going to here. It's just animated, having that sort of a futuristic vibe for it as well. What's here in the background? There's a building right here. And I don't think it's going to happen that there's going to be like you can play sports inside of the game. That would be really cool. if that ever happened. Looks like no more PE for a while. Although I'll bet the members of the Secret Snake Club don't mind. Secret Snake Club, that's very specific. Secret Snake Club. Oh. The club that Manny joins calls upon an ancient entity to protect nerds from persecution. Season 3, Episode 8. This is from 2005. Let's look into the image. Oh yes, I remember this episode right here. I remember when it came out. Yeah, man, and I believe you can also watch the episode on YouTube as well. This is a nice. Oh, yeah, this would be a pretty cool outfit to have as well inside of the game. And just going back into like the calling all designers thread, if you want to get an item to be included inside of the game, the best possible chance is for yourself to go draw an item that already exists inside of their respective show. So it'd be pretty cool to have this item as well as probably the snake as a sort of melee weapon. You can watch the episode here, thankfully on YouTube, or no, on Dailymotion, or probably on Kiss Cartoon. That's where like my Discord server and link is inside of the description. Watch our shows for Time Squad. Looks like the Secret Snake Club is confirmed now. Now that's kind of odd. I don't see them as a major character. I think they only appeared once inside of the series. So I think the characters are not going to be there, but there's going to be a mission relating to the plot of the Secret Snake Club. Glowing place marks. Hear my dog barking. All right. Hold on. It's actually kind of like a convenient time for me to temporarily take a break. I've been live streaming now for an hour and 8 minutes. I'm gonna get my dog, gonna get some water. I'll be right back. Yeah, I drank some water, and hey, no, Cooper. My dog is here with me. He was barking, and no, you're gonna mess with the cables. No. Okay. I'm not sure. Yeah, I definitely showed him before in the past. Let me go show him again. Cooper, come here. Come here, Cooper. Come here. He wants to go outside, but it's like raining outside right now. You want to go outside? Come here. Come here. Come here. Come here. All right. This is. Oh no, my microphone is blocking it. There he is. Okay. There he is, right there in the camera. Hopefully you can see him. But one of the reasons why I like to go live stream late at night is because my family doesn't get to interrupt me. But I suppose my dog, which is also part of my family, doesn't make it 100%. Okay. He likes getting a lot of attention. So this is one of the actually one of the least commented picture of the days. You know, speaking about basketball, there was actually a suggestion, I believe, that was mentioned with the calling all designers thread, and it was referencing using Wilt as one of like the bases for these certs. Hopefully I can go find it inside of the search bar. Search for Wilt and Wilt. Okay, let's just probably search that up. Wilt. No, I can't find it, but actually, it's unfortunate that you can't type in like the specific thread. How about calling all designers Wilt? Wilt. No, Cooper, don't touch the wires. No, don't do that. No. More than once he stepped over the wires and like my phone fell. But yeah, I remember seeing this design of Wilt from Foster's Home. Foster's Home, Wilt, and basketball t-shirt or basketball jersey. Yeah, it was something like, that's basketball jersey. I can't find it, but yeah, it'd be pretty cool if there was like a item set series of Foster's Home. So we have one for Wilt, we have one for Blue, for Coco, Eduardo, Cheese, and even for Jackie, the green imaginary friend. Okay, let's go to the next one, and Suburban Yard. Okay, this one looks like another photo, probably at Sector V. A lot of photos here at Sector V. I don't really see too much. Now, what we do see here would have to be this. This looks like a bush. There's probably another bush right there. Yeah, nothing too significant from my first impression. There's like these fences right here. There's a car right there. Probably that car is going to be animated. It's going to be like moving around to and from. And remember, like the curved roads, there's going to be curved roads. There's shadows here of the houses. I'm not sure if there were actual shadows inside of the game. There will be a complete breakdown of social order, a war of all against all, dark times ahead. Aren't you overreacting a bit? $12-7. Emperor is like, he's really behind. Over dramatic caption is alluding to the fact there's an opening in the fence. There will be a complete breakdown of social order, a war of all against all, dark times ahead. Who are they? Who's talking? Between the nerdy secret Snake Club members we all know so well, mainly the guy with the glasses and the other kid with the flat top hair. The windows, doors, and the garage look painted on, but everything else looks cool. Strangely enough, beef from the SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water. Check out the clip. The Krabby Patty is what ties us all together on YouTube. It's likely that an accident happened, as this maybe wasn't supposed to go up today, and the quote might be a placeholder until they thought up a better one. This wasn't intentional, so this is what they wanted to post. Mr. Krabs confirmed. Okay, let's actually go search that up. Search Google, and yes, it is a line from Sponge Out of Water. Quotes.net. Okay, Krabby Patty. And Control F, yes. Scene changes to Mr. Krabs, Squidward, and the Bikini Bottom citizens wearing bad clothes, and then the citizens ran away screaming in the rooms of Bikini Bottom. Welcome to the apocalypse, Mr. Squidward. I hope you like leather. Okay, so if you're really trying to like overanalyze every single thing, oh yeah, this definitely means that like Mr. Krabs and like the SpongeBob gang is going to be inside. Well, where does this meme originate from? Wicked. I mean, Prissy did say this was intentional. Okay. The Electro-Tangular. Alright. October 7, 2016. Okay. The Electro-Tangular is a supercharged Soctangular. This guy has got 3 times the voltage, 3 times the size, and even an extra pair of eyes. Okay. That's really cool. So it was probably kind of significant. Probably overanalyzing things as per usual, but I wouldn't be too surprised if, for example, like, you know how inside of the game we have like the normal monster, and then there's like a bigger version of that monster with a different name. So I think probably what they're going to do for FusionFall Legacy is that they're going to they're going to upgrade the looks of the boss form monsters. Now, if you can go into the FusionFall wiki monsters section, FusionFall wiki monsters, so fusion monsters, and let's just go into the Soctangular. And Devin stated that these are not to be considered canon recently inside of the forums, but you know, just reading them is pretty interesting. So shock tinglers are huge multi-armed servants of Fuse who feed on the electricity generated by the infected things in Fusion number 2's lair. Be prepared for a shock when you reach there. And yeah, this is what they look like. So this is their normal form. Now compare that with the one that we have inside of the picture of the day. And let's make this 1920 by 1080. Here is the before, and that's not a good one. Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do like something like this. Okay. So they've been upgraded. This is a lot more green, or probably it's because of the bad lighting. This one has this one has 1 pair of eyes. This one has 3 pairs of eyes, so six eyes altogether. The things are up. Yeah. So again, just to go repeat myself, I think what's going to happen is like they're going to make slight modifications with the boss form of each monster. So again, like imagine the fusion spawn, the most basic one. We have the jumbo fusion spawn, right? The difference is that it's a lot bigger, but they're going to add something else to make it a bit more unique. Another potential thing that I'm kind of looking forward to, especially when you're inside of like the late game, is like when you're level 36, right? We have like the Scoria Cephalopod, and there's like a boss form called like the Cephalopod Prime. It would be really cool to see if they are gonna go down this path of upgrading and making small modifications for the boss form. It'd be really cool what these boss forms are going to look like, especially for like the Great Cell Slug King and the Meteoric Guardian Lieutenant. Again, that'd be really cool to go see. Mojo look updated. Oh yes, another thing to look at is Mojo Jojo has a different look. There are more statues, or not statues, but more structures or columns collapsed. We can definitely, there's apparently some sort of like, that's another probable monster as well. This looks like a redesigned look of a Hero Square Sector V. Looks completely different. Okay, let's go into the comments. Look up in the sky. Look up in the sky. What's in the sky? Oh, yes. This. Now, again, it kind of does remind me of, like those floating rocks that you see when they were showing Fuse's lair. Right? FusionFall Legacy Tech Square. Okay, so we see these floating rocks, right? And it makes me kind of wonder if that's going to be the same thing as well. So this, like, will meteorites be falling from the sky? That some sort of background scenery as well. Sector V in the future here looks so destroyed that the K&D training area fits it. Now, so Mojo's design got changed. Let's go close all of these tabs. Mojo, FusionFall, Sector V, Future. Hero Square. Mojo Jojo. Here is Mojo Jojo right here. Kind of a bad look for it. Hopefully there's another photo of this. Unfortunately not. but it appears that that the photo definitely did get updated. Oh, what is this? Is this like fan art? I've never seen this photo before. Hero safe zone plus connecting FusionFall. Okay. They updated the design. Hopefully someone here can sew like the previous design. I already talked about like the upgraded looks. This is really interesting of what CT Stevie was talking about. He's talking about a potential nuclear fallout. Now, if you ever watched the show called Chernobyl from HBO, it's actually one of the best short Chernobyl. It has a really, really high rating. It has a 9.5 out of 10 on IMDb and a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. And there's this really ugly, very, very ugly and very gore scene where it shows how bad nuclear radiation can look like. Just to give in some sort of detail, if you're exposed to nuclear radiation, a very lethal dose of it, you're gonna look like your melted pizza. You're gonna look like your melted pizza. Your entire body will turn into like a sort of melted pizza look. I really recommend watching Chernobyl. It's fantastic. Okay. We're making pretty good progress with this one. Pond. Okay, before Fuse invaded, an intense battle took place here. The city has since classified ducks as a weapon and removed the boat rentals. Boat rentals, what? Okay, let's close all of these. And boat rentals, that's interesting. So does this kind of mean that overanalyzing, there's going to be boats? And that would be really nice to have and be really nice because like we have the Candy Cove coast, we have Monkey Foothills coast, we have the Area 51.1 coast. We have a lot of coasts inside of the game, and it's kind of unfortunate where if you're like an explorer, the only way to really travel around the area is if you actually go swim, or if you were to use your vehicle. Now, to actually have a sort of vehicle dedicated, like a boat, that would be really nice to have. And I can already kind of imagine, similar to the vendors located at Peach Creek Commons, the vendor is also going to sell you a sort of mini boat as well, where once you go on top of a body of water, it immediately pulls out a boat. Another really cool thing that a lot of people would like to have, and I think it's unlikely, if not very unlikely, is if you can actually dive underwater and you can do missions while diving. There's a game I play, it's called Guild Wars 2, and they do this very well. There's entire areas where you can go underwater and do missions, and there's monsters around there, there's NPCs around there, and I think a lot of people would very much like a sort of aquatic area inside of FusionFall Legacy. If not just have just like one area inside of the game where it's mostly water, like if it's 50%, 80% water, and have most of the missions there. A lot of people would like that, and they can reuse existing monsters inside of the game. Preferably, I prefer they don't do that, but like there's a lot of nautical themed monsters inside of the game. Like, let's just very quickly go into fusion monsters again. We can look into, I think of Orchid Bay. Let's go to Orchid Bay and Bravo Beach. Like, I think of the Squish Scaler, right? I can easily imagine, like, when you go underwater, you see a bunch of Squish Scalers spreaded around. Another potential one that we could potentially see is probably, like a master tentacular that's underwater. It acts like an actual octopus, because when you think about it, the ocean is vast, and I believe like 3/4 of like the Earth's crust is water. How much of the Earth is water? Oh yeah, 71%. About 71% of the Earth's surface is water covered, and the ocean holds about 96.5% of all of Earth's water. Water also exists in the air as water vapor in rivers and lakes, and ice caps and glaciers, and the ground as soil moisture and in aquifers, and even in you and your dog. And water is the solvent for life. It's needed. Every single life form on planet Earth, regardless of domain, regardless of kingdom. So if you're like archaea, bacteria, or eukarya, and then you go into like the kingdoms, which is like protista, fungus, fungi, plantae, animalia. There's other kingdoms as well. Every single form of life requires water. And if Earth is roughly 71% water, I think it's pretty kind of mandatory that we have some sort of area where we can explore the open sea. Maybe we don't dive, but maybe it would be really nice if we can have an area just dedicated where there's like ships, like a harbor, or Stormalong Harbor, and we can do missions there. Imo 4 duck weapons confirmed. This was a lot earlier than I thought. What is this guy? Quacktacular. Chad and Jeremy deconfirmed. So there's 3 ducks. Yucky Duck from what a cartoon. This guy right here. He's a duck. Looks like it's from the Hanna-Barbera era. Another one is Hard Luck Duck, also from What a Cartoon. Which is referring to this one right here. This duck right here. And LeQuack from Courage, confirmed. I think since it's Cartoon Network, I think it's referring to this one right here, LeQuack. There's some fan art of Courage and LeQuack. Here he is probably in human form. Pond, and just having some sort of, like, imagine some sort of like wildlife inside of the area, because when I was doing, when you were doing Bubbles missions at Townsville Park, where you have to go rescue like these bird nests, and you were looking around like, where the heck are the birds, right? Now we have those parrots roaming around in the wilds, but I think it would also be really nice if we can have, you know, ducks. Those minor things, right? Ducks inside of the water, and if you were to go nearby them, they actually kind of move around. This references the ducks from regular show. The ducks from regular show. Baby ducks. Ah, these are really cute. A bunch of baby ducks, and ooh. The Hyper Duck is the baby duck's original fusion form. It first appeared in their debut episode. A bunch of baby ducks. This is probably their adult form. What the heck? Hyper Duck? What? Whoa. They actually look like they're just ordinary ducks, but they are completely different. Wow, that's really cool. Here they are right here, but they actually transform into those looks. Oh, cool. Here they are playing video games, eating pizza. Oh, here this is wow. There's a lot of photos here. Oh, here they are, all fused together. Wow. Something that I really love about regular show is that, ironically, it's not a regular show. It's the exact opposite. I'm excellent. Oh, there's that reference back to that one episode. Neural link. Wait, there's so many photos here. What the heck? It's like this guy literally posted every single frame inside. Whoa. Making peace to go in outer space. Dude, this is really cool. Wow. Imagine having this as an outfit, right? These are angel prayer wings right here. We have Van Halen's red or pink guitar. And it kind of makes me kind of wonder if like regular show is going to be included inside of the game, which is confirmed. Will they be a guide mission? And I think, and if that actually does happen, I think the most likely one would have to be Double D, because his missions are a lot more laid back. And if they are going to be located, I think the most obvious one would be like the suburbs or downtown. But then again, it is like the regular show, right? They do all of these extraordinary acts, so probably I wouldn't be too surprised if they were also located at the Darklands. So like, you know, we have Double D, right? After level 36, your next guide mentor would be like Mordecai or Rigby or Benson. Our 6th journal entry. All right. Whoa. We have an aerial view right here. And the last live stream, we were going through like this Skull Rock Island. Journal entry 6. Skull Rock can be found north of Bravo Beach. I made my journey on Whoosh, but I heard some guy swam all the way here once. Wow, we have our aerial view, and there's a lot of things we can talk about this one. Let's go. Okay, first of all, there are clouds inside of the game. Hopefully these clouds are going to move, like, you know, in real life. We have, you know, an aerial view right here. We have Whoosh, the alpha whale. We probably still have that candy pirate ship at Orchid Bay. We have, you know, there's a lot of things going back through here, and I guess this kind of requires for yourself to go watch part 3 of the live stream, but we can go talk about it. And there's a boat right there. That boat was already still there, I believe. And as we can see here, if you know your location lore, to the left would have to be, is this Bravo Beach infected zone? Because I remember we had the Bravo Beach sculpture, and with this aerial view, it kind of doesn't look like Bravo Beach. Or no, it is Bravo Beach, because I remember inside of that photo it had a lot of fusion matter. So yeah, there's a lot of yeah, you definitely have to go watch part 3 of this, because that was like a significant chunk of the live stream focusing on this area. We have this structure right here. What is this? It's probably going to be underground. We have a boat here, probably that's submerged underwater. More things that were submerged underwater, and wow, there's this green thing here, rocks right here. There's that lighthouse we saw. Are these cars right here as well? Wow, that's great. A lot of cool stuff has appeared here. Let's just look into the forum thread. Hopefully people are going to post some previous images. If not, we can go back. The general vastness of the shore kind of puts this awesome pic in perspective, and that perspective for me isn't positive. Now, assuming it takes you, I don't know, like 2 minutes to go from like from here to all the way here, I don't know, we're doing some sort of pseudo math right now. If it takes you like 2 minutes to oh yeah, so if you really wanted to swim there, it's going to take you like 2 minutes to get there without a vehicle. Okay. I'm really looking forward to this area because it's a brand new area that has never been revealed. Because a lot of the photos for Picture of the Day, they've just been showing teasers of already existing areas, primarily ones at like the suburbs such as Sector V and Genius Grove. So to go see like a literal brand new area, it's very positive and gives a lot of excitement. Skeleton, sunken sip. Amen. I could have been in the competition, but I had to wait for one of you because I'm on mobile. Big bang of nope. That's a potential skeleton. Now, imagine this. So, like, you know that really giant dinosaur skeleton found at Dinosaur Pass inside of that infected zone? Imagine there's a similar skeleton that's placed around here. And again, just going back into like, you can go dive in FusionFall Legacy. That would be really cool if they did that. And you can go dive and see the structure underwater and see that sunken potential ship here as well. Why exactly? Why though? Okay, here we have someone posting photos. Thank you, CT Lord, for this. Okay, here we have that old photo. This was posted September 18, 2016. No, that was definitely not. Let's go take this photo. If anything, we're gonna have to go look at these photos again. So here we have our first person perspective view of Orchid Bay. There's a lighthouse right there. At the time, we didn't know what this structure was until, well, not this photo, but until many photos were posted later to go confirm what it actually is. So here we have a first person perspective. Let's go and I really want to know who swam in Skull Rock. Only Samurai Jack kind of reminds me of the original Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, but like when Goku was still a kid. Goku did something insane where he actually swum like the entire ocean to get to this one location. Pretty sure swimming there is equivalent to going to Future Tech Square. What? Either means downtown is a northern region or it looks around to the north. And if you can remember from the last live stream, people were actually kind of speculating that this was Stormalong Harbor, and CT Stevie was stating that it's not Stormalong Harbor because, like, inside of the photos, there's like a bunch of like rocky terrain, and Stormalong is just is a wooden harbor, right? Like, why would it have rocky terrain? If you look at the beach, it doesn't look finished. Okay, so another kind of detail that I noticed, it's nothing too massive, is like, you know, if you were to go to like an actual beach, like this area, right? It's not as deep as, you know, like this area, because like there's still, it's not that deep. So it'll be pretty cool. Like, you know, those effects of like waves pushing in and out, the tide comes in, the tide comes out. It'd be nice to go have that as a small detail. And they have that at the coast of Monkey Foothills. Ooh, this is when the Total Drama Island fiasco did not happen yet. And yeah, I remember during the original era of the game, during like the subscription era, people thought that Skull Rock, FusionFall maps, not the one found in the wiki. That this map, during like the original era of the game, people thought that this Skull Island was actually Total Drama Island, or no, I'm sorry, not that island right there, but where like the shipwrecker is located. What I'm referring to is Infinite Possibilities. Ranger Joey, relaxing. This is actually one of the funnier videos that I did. Wow. Ranger Joey chilling at the sea for an hour, and in the background is some relaxed music. Actually, like, not gonna lie, I actually relax at the beach. But what I'm referring to in regards to Total Drama Island would have to be this island right here. This is not the best one. This was actually before the shipwrecker one was added inside of the game. Infinite Possibilities, Ranger Joey, relaxing. No, so FusionFall, Total Drama Island. Okay. FusionFall. This is from like 8 years ago. No, not that one. Yeah, it's not here. I can't find it. I can't immediately find it. But yeah, there was people thought that island was there. Now, something that's kind of interesting here as well is that we have this massive cloud, right? And that island where the shipwrecker is located, it's nowhere to be seen. So probably, if they're going to continue their legacy idea, that the shipwrecker world boss is going to be there, and perhaps there's going to be an upgraded look within that island as well. It's very similar to what happens with the shipwrecker with what we have right now. Skull. Oh, wait a second. Ooh. You don't want to get attacked by any vicious lurking monsters. So perhaps when you probably kind of overthink of what Devin says, if you are brave enough to swim from here to there, there's going to be monsters between point A to point B. What do you want, Cooper? It's raining outside. You can't go outside in there. And yeah, I brought this up in a previous live stream, and you know, like, so Skull Rock, right? When you're inside of that area, it was actually raining, right? So it'd be really cool that as you swim closer and closer to Skull Rock, the clouds in the background change from like sunny side summer seasons, and it slowly transforms into a dark background with rain falling. So after this, we're gonna go just very quickly go look into the threads to see the photos. Okay. That was the 6th journal entry. So let's go to page 5. And let's go into journal entry. Journal entry 2. Where was the first one? Oh, here's one from Johnny Bravo Sculpture. Fright Yard, journal entry 2. Where's the first one, man? Transmission loss. 4th journal entry. 5th journal entry. Probably the first one was located here. So we have the structure, which is Johnny Bravo, right? And let's go close that one. We have this one right here, another first or second person perspective, I think, or third person perspective. Transmission loss, that was Tech Square. Here's journal entry 4. And here we have journal entry 5. And I know there's more with the radar dish, Fright Yard, foggy shorelines, infected lighthouse. Yeah, I would recommend that you watch the previous live stream, because I go much more into depth with these photos. Okay, copy image and infected lighthouse. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of images relating to this. So let's go into that aerial view again. So the aerial view, so So the one here in the middle is very likely that lighthouse, which is this one right here. The Kamari, no, not the Kamari, but Whoosh, the alpha whale, as was seen right here. So if you want to access the Skull Rock Island, you have to take Whoosh, the alpha whale. Another one, here's some more photos of Skull Rock or Skull Island, whatever you're gonna go call it. Here's more photos of the Whoosh operator. Looks like an octopus. Skull Rock right there. More photos. But yeah, that's oh yeah, and here's the lighthouse right here, right? The lighthouse beaming its light, and the light is found right there. Terrafuser is right there. But yeah, it looks to me that Orchid Bay and Bravo Beach are going to be different, or they're going to be a lot bigger than what we have right now with Retro. Let's go close all of these. But yeah, I recommend you watch part 3. Okay, now let's go back into let's go back into here. Sixth journal entry. That was the aerial view, right? Okay. Okay. The zoo. All right. And all right, so here we have ourselves pretty ordinary photo, but when you look into it, there's a lot more to this. I get that you want to impress your girlfriend or whatever, but did we have to get here so early? I didn't even get to eat breakfast, man. You didn't even get to go eat breakfast, man. All right. Expand canvas. And we definitely see the return of the Shotomacine, or whatever that is. Definitely see some terrafusers here. Similar structures of the terrafuser are there. We have this here. That's a new building, I believe. A bridge. These look like cages. Cages for animals. We have land here that looks to appear broken, like it was raised. Now, something that I want to go talk about would have to be the Townsville Zoo. So the Townsville Zoo was one of these areas that were scrapped, removed, canceled from the original FusionFall before they officially released it. Now I have quotations from, I think, Devin. Okay. From Devin, Townsville Zoo. Yes, here it is. June 28, 2018. Unfortunately, the full game isn't done. I know it's probably frustrating to see Legacy go from picture of the day to basically nothing for a year. Now it's been more than 2 years. But given recent events with Retro and its development, we decided it would be best to develop in the dark so as to keep focus on Retro and not have to work on the public part of development, which honestly tends to hinder real development. That's kind of a very odd reasoning. I mean, if not picture of the day, can't you just have like picture of the month? We should not have Townsville Zoo or the aquarium or most of the world we've sewn off even started yet. We just wanted to keep public interest. In reality, we've had to manage both that portion of development, the public part, and the early parts of the game and gameplay. I venture to say it was a mistake on our part to even do devlogs, let alone picture of the day. We're just not in a state where we have a ton of finished content to show off. Instead, we have to focus on something other than the early parts of the game, just to show off some art. That's a bad way to do things. And this is one of the more controversial things. A lot of people just want to have more legacy photos, if not picture of the day, right? Just have like picture every month or picture every other month, right? Just to renew the public interest for FusionFall Legacy. Okay. Now, okay. But he does mention Townsville Zoo and the aquarium. Let's hopefully search this up. Yes, here's one from DevBlog. They came from Townsville Zoo. There's a dev blog posted from 2017. It has over 34,000 views. And as you can see right here, I mean, like the dev blog stuff deserves its own mini-series. But we see these cages, right? And the cages are also found over here. So this is a photo definitely at Townsville Zoo, which is potentially going to be a brand new area at downtown. And we have Jackie right here, I believe, Jackie Combs. We have Boomer, and you have Jackie and Boomer Nano. Yeah, again, this deserves its own series as well. Maybe not a live stream series, but maybe like for each developer blog post, I'll make a separate video, which is probably going to be like 15-20 minutes long, going through each one. But yeah, this is really cool. And yeah, these are like the kind of monsters that we get to go see at Townsville Zoo. And if you want to go find out where to go find it, just go to FusionFall Universe forums, FusionFall Legacy, Developers Blog, and Dev Blogs. I'll go show you how to do it. So here's the main forums. And you scroll down, and FusionFall Legacy, Developers Blog, and here, right here, right there. So yeah. Now another thing to consider, yeah, this is definitely a Townsville Zoo. You need that breakfast. This place looks really nice. Yes, it definitely does look like a Townsville Zoo. On the beautiful places list, Forgotten Falls. What are the most beautiful places inside of FusionFall? Like, I think the most common answer would have to be Forgotten Falls. The least most beautiful place, in my opinion, would have to be like the catacombs. Maybe not, because like we have that underwater castle, as well as like that huge entrance. But probably, yeah, that kind of deserves its own video as well. Jackie wanted a sandwich, and that freeloader wanted him to go to the zoo just to impress Bubble. So there's a significance with this photo. This was posted October 17, 2016. So the dev blog came many months after this Townsville Zoo got posted. Now, I believe Devin was talking about this on the forums, and he was talking about the Townsville Zoo and the aquarium being areas that were originally part of the game but were later removed for the official release. So just going back into FusionFall maps, and let's go into game location areas, copy image, and okay. So just going back here. So I think he was referencing that like the aquarium, I think, was somewhere around here, somewhere around here. So it was either this one. I think this one is the most likely location, and like Townsville Zoo is either located here, just somewhere around this area. So something that we can reasonably assume to appear inside of FusionFall Legacy would again have to be this Skull Rock area, and would also have to be probably the Townsville Zoo, and probably to a lesser extent the aquarium. But the aquarium, if you stay with me for future episodes, we're going to go find out. It's very likely going to be confirmed. Okay. And after this, I'm going to take another break. Can't believe it's already been an hour since my last break. Yes. Look at the top right of the image. The cage is there matched perfectly with this image from the dev blog that initially revealed the zoo in the first place. It's even got the rocks and everything. I see no room for doubt that this is a Townsville Zoo. This is the new Townsville Zoo area. Boomer and Bubbles could, or are, I haven't followed Powerpuff Girl lore too much, be in a crush. And Boomer wants to impress Bubbles by bringing her to the zoo. Now, since Bubbles loves animals a lot, which is an explanation to the conversation in this picture of the day. Now, just going back into FusionFall forums, developers blog, and it came from Townsville Zoo. So this guy actually predicted okay. So Mega, or Plants 10,000, he kind of predicted it. October 17, 2016. This again posted February 15. That was 1, 2, 3, 4. He predicted this 4 months in advance. And they say they're kind of going on a date. And if you go down here further, we have Boomer and Bubbles being together. Again, this is kind of reserved for another series that I want to do, developers blog, after I do this very long series for picture of the day. Okay, old pick of the day. Lots of people are believing this is the park from regular show. I don't buy it, as I previously proved earlier. However, the similarities are undeniable. If the park is indeed inside of the game, it would not be far-fetched for it to be close by. So Stevie is making these educated statements that it's not from regular show, but instead, again, it's from Powerpuff Girls or Townsville Zoo. Where's all the animals? When I saw the cages, I thought of the pic Stevie posted, but when I looked back at the dev blog database, this sort of threw me off. Before the invasion, the city zoo was once a happy attraction and wildlife center. While Lord Fuse and his minions haven't had a chance to take a strong hold of it by infecting the area, the caged animals have all mysteriously disappeared and no one can explain why. This would contradict there being a fusion spawner behind the trees. Wait a second, is this? Okay. Is this inside here? It's not. Maybe we can develop a database. Okay. Here it is. Wait a second. March 9, 2016. Why is this dev blog posted on 2017, unless they probably chose to repost this again in terms of like archive. Okay. So this is kind of odd. This quote is no longer here. That's really odd. It's not inside of like the official dev blog post, but it is inside of like it is inside of the development database. So I guess the theory is that oh, something interesting here is that inside of this post, oh, here's a nice GIF right here. Something interesting inside of this post is that you know, the monsters were not shown yet. They have probably been yet to have been developed. I don't really know what they're talking about because I saw some regular show episodes, but I didn't watch like all of it. So, man, okay. So that is it's been we're at the 2 hour mark now, and we're actually in good progress. I think the last hour we're gonna be finished with this page section. So again, I'll be right back. Drink some water, and yeah, I'll be right back. Do I have to adjust my webcam? I'm kind of like, I feel like I kind of have to kind of move it. Like, there we go, kind of like that. Yeah, all right. And my table, kind of like, and the mic is okay. Now, something that I kind of want to talk about now would be the last few images shown right here. Hold on. Okay. Zoo. Townsville Zoo interior. Okay, this pretty much just confirms Townsville Zoo. Okay. Another major update. She's not my girlfriend. Look, we need to stay focused. So far, only lead has been that gross chalkboard covered in Fusion Matters. So I believe that the people that are in conversation would have to be Boomer and Jackie. Okay, let's copy image, and let's go do this one right here. Okay, we have water here. So this is some of our very first photos of Townsville Zoo. We have cages right there. We have a house right there. Some plants or trees slowly becoming fusion monsters. And we have broken land. We have a road right there. Okay, bridge right here. And okay, yeah, this is pretty much just like another angle. Right here we have the bridge, and probably on this side, yeah, this is definitely just another angle. We have a house right there with a tree. Chalkboard, like back with Fusion Imaginary Friends, Coco or Eduardo. I can't recall which one. Yeah, so there was a mission when you were like doing missions at Orchid Bay. So FusionFall road missions. Let's go to Orchid Bay. And go to, not that one, but it was with Bubbles. Yes, Fusion by the Sea, part 3-3. And yes, Chalk. Investigate the secret under the boardwalk. Why did Fusion Eduardo help me find his lair? The weirdest fusions seem to be the ones based on imaginary friends. Maybe Fuse can't completely control them. So, mission offered, part 3 of 3. The chalkboard message says, "Big secret under the boardwalk." I wonder what that means. Think you can take a peek. So this involves Chalk, and you're going to have to defeat Fusion Eduardo. He drops orange chalk. So probably what we're going to do here is, probably what they're going to do is that they're going to recycle the mission Fusion by the Sea and make it more towards for Townsville Zoo. Now, I bring this mission up, Fusion by the Sea, and there's probably like another mission as well regarding Bubbles, where it like involved rescuing birds at Townsville Park, where those missions were actually supposed to be for the canceled aquarium area as well as for the Townsville Zoo. Now, again, they mention chalk. So far, our only lead has been that gross chalkboard covered in fusion matter. So this is probably the same chalk, that same orange chalk that Fusion Eduardo had with Fusion by the Sea. So probably we're going to have this mission, and we're probably going to have another mission saga that's relating to this particular story. Rudy's got the chalk. Stuff on the lower ground. I don't see anything. All narrated by Plankton and Boomer. My dog is panting right now. He probably needs some water. So yeah, I'll be right back. I'm petting him right now. The bear in regular show is confirmed. Death Bear Nano would be too OP. The zoo is almost too pretty. Won't that detract some from the whole film, nor sort of ambience? Okay. Townsville Zoo interior and Zoo Bridge. Another relatively uninteresting photo unless you look into the background. We have this. What is this structure? Kind of reminds me of a brand new structure. Is this the aquarium? Probably, we don't know. Jackie, I see some weird web prints up ahead. They look pretty recent. Finally a lead. Bubbles is going to be so happy. Okay, so they're doing something for Bubbles. And we have another perspective of the bridge. Now, probably this is kind of far-fetched, but it's more unlikely, and possibly very unlikely, if there was going to be a sort of cutscene between Boomer and Jackie moving around this bridge, and there's dialogue happening as well. So yeah, we have this giant structure here. This is like the first time that it was ever shown, and this looks like a structure that has never appeared before. This is significant. Webbed feet. Could it possibly be this guy involved? That's kind of interesting. And it's another thing that's somewhat interesting here would be the way LeQuack is designed. His eyes are obviously outside of him, outside of his body. I just noticed that. So yeah, what I'm interested in would have to be the this structure in the background, but in terms of dialogue, Jackie and Boomer are moving around looking for something. The clue was this chalk stuff, and it possibly might have to deal with Fusion Eduardo. Zoo Bridge. Already clicked on that one. Mysterious tracks. Okay, well, here we have our very first photo where it's not actually inside of the game. Now, this kind of does make me think if you want to go pursue down this path, like while you're doing a mission, probably instead of like a cutscene, it is in a way still a cutscene. They Hooper, stop doing that. Great. I'll be right back. Oh man, I'm getting really annoyed with my dog. I have to go put him back inside of the garage. First time he made my camera fall. You know what? I'm going to adjust the camera wire. I'm going to place it right here so he doesn't... This is probably something that I should do after the live stream, but I got really upset. He made my webcam fall. All right, okay. And it's brand new too, so not even a month old. Okay, what was I talking about? What made these tracks? One of the zoo animals, you mean like a duck or some sort of platypus? So people at the time, they were thinking it was probably like the duck from Courage the Cowardly Dog. However, that's not going to happen. Magical dealer, I don't think that's gonna happen. They definitely do not look duck-like. And it's amazing with my feature 4 knowledge, it's like none of these are true. This is not a cutscene. Is this our first look at cutscenes? I hope so, because that would be amazing. That's unfortunate. Sid and Jackie have a dark green middle section. So in this thread, they're just kind of speculating on who it's going to be. None of them are correct. The trail unveiled, and yes, this is the funny part. This was October 25, 2016. Oh, so I guess that's what made the tracks. I still have no idea what this thing is. Boom goes the boomer as he found a blowfish. Now, this kind of makes me wonder, just going back into Fusion by the Sea, part 3 of 3, the Fusion dropped a orange chalk, I think. Did it? Control F, orange. Yes. It's orange chalk. Didn't that chalkboard message have orange letters? Right? So it's not a fusion, it's just a blowfish, and I really like how they actually reused the blowfish here instead of it just being a holiday event. They first appeared, I believe, during the Mother's Day event with a giant blowfish, and for the ones who don't know what that is, blowfish. Here's some video. The mother of all blowfish. Credit to Triumph 101. This was posted back in 2010, and it's super duper huge. He's definitely using a clockboard hoverboard. Let's go try and get right here. Yeah, here is that really large structure, and it's really, really huge. And there's going to be a spoiler in the future, and that's how huge that mother of all blowfish is. And I believe at the time when this was released, please correct me if I'm wrong, this is also when the Fusion blowfish all came out. All right, close that. So I'm under the assumption that Fusion by the Sea is going to be relating to this one, and so probably After you do Fusion by the Sea Part 3 of 3, you're going to have a mission being given out by Boomer and as well as Jackie, which is relating to the chalk. So like after you're done with Fusion Part 3 of 3, you're gonna get like some sort of nanocom message where like Boomer or Jackie is telling you to go meet up with him, and probably he's gonna try and solve this mystery to go impress Bubbles. Some serious cheekbones. Yeah, he has like that. There was Michelangelo Jaws statue of David. Be pretty nice if you could have like a blowfish backpack, and actually never mind, that already exists. If you have Dexter as a guide, Blossom will eventually give you a blowfish backpack, and not just that, but there's like a fusion blowfish backpack as well. All right, it's pretty funny. A lot of people were thinking that it was like Courage, or from like Regular Show, or from all those other shows, but it was completely not even a duck. It was actually a blowfish. The trail unveiled, zoo, crew, and the blowfish. And here's another photo of them. Whatever it is, it doesn't look like it's related to our case, but seriously, is it like a fish or something? Maybe. Well, I mean, it is a blowfish, and I'm not exactly sure what a blowfish is in terms of Powerpuff Girls lore. So maybe here we have ourselves the opportunity to go learn what these blowfishes are. Powerpuff Girls blowfish. Here's one with FusionFall. Oh, here they are. So I didn't know this actually existed, but I do remember. Well, actually, I wasn't around, so they could have a redesign of this blowfish model that we see right here. This one is slightly larger, so they can definitely increase his size to probably around like this size, make him, I don't know, like 100% bigger. Twice his size. So the giant fish balloon monster, vocal effects and evil laugh provided by Kevin Michael Richardson, is a monster that appeared in the episode Uh-Oh Dynamo. When the monster appears from under the water, he tried to ruin all the people of Townsville's fun and games. The girls tried to stop, but he's too strong. And he goes on a rampage by destroying Townsville. But the girls use the dynamo to stop the fish balloon by throwing three shaped signs from a bowling alley that pierces its mouth, causing it to deflate and flies away uncontrollably before falling to Mount Rushmore. So it's a giant fish balloon. Okay, and it's a Japanese monster. Lake of Little Tokyo, Townsville. And this is a male, because they're using the male pronoun. Here's another appearance of the blowfish monster, but in this case they're called fish balloon. More photos. They're huge. Wow. Oh, and here's like his little children right here, probably. Or his child. Okay. It'd be really nice if we can actually have like a what's it called? A plushie? Is that what it's called? A plushie? A plushie. A soft toy. If we can have like a plushie of like a blowfish. And I believe there was also a blowfish outfit inside of the original FusionFall. Blowfish outfit. Oh no, it was part of Luther Fall Angel's video. Luther Fall Angel unreleased sets, and credit to Luther still being relevant after all these years. 2011 was when this was posted, more than 8 years ago. Now these items exist. That one is like City Point Infected Zone. Here's the really awesome Vilgax set right here. He really rotates it. Where is it? Way Big. This outfit right here. Agent 6's outfit. Generator Rex. Okay, it looks like it's not inside of this video, but I'm kind of wondering if there's actually a sort of game file item that the Blowfish outfit actually exists. Okay. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and it kind of makes you wonder, man, like JoJo, man. I think it was this year where JoJo's Bizarre Adventures really got mainstream within like the anime community. Google Trends. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. 2004, present. Yeah, so it's always been relatively popular. I watched the first 2 seasons of JoJo's Adventures. It's funny, but I don't know. I just think it's not for me. So the adaptation was in 2012, but it was originally released in 1987 to 2004. Oh wow. Okay, so it got released in 2012, and back when it was in like season 1, it still wasn't really known until like the end of until like the last quarter of the year, and then it started getting really popular in like 2014 as well as like in 2016, and it got really skyrocketed. It really skyrocketed in terms of popularity in 2018 and 2019. I think if we can compare this with, I don't know, One Piece, the other anime that's hugely... Oh, actually, that's not very fair. Manga series, still not very fair. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Yeah, so in terms of One Piece versus JoJo, it's still... One Piece is a heck of a lot much more popular, especially, I believe, in Japan. Oh, it's actually kind of very similar in terms of popularity, but clearly One Piece is a lot more popular. How about in America? United States. And oh wow, so it just only very recently, yeah, in 2018, it started reaching One Piece levels in terms of popularity. Udi. Of course, they were all fusion blowfish. The one exception is the mother of all blowfish, but I don't think she actually had a name. Her child was simply called blowfish. Dropping an album. Don't worry, I got you guys. The Townsville Zoo Chronicles by Principal Goodwin and Hip Hop Opotamus. Alright. Parental advisory, explicit content. This is beautiful. This is probably going to be like the thumbnail for part 4. And Townsville Aquarium. Here we finally have the exterior. So yes, earlier or midway in the live stream, we were talking about the potential Townsville Aquarium, and here we have it right there. This is a brand new structure, I believe, or probably a reused structure that was inside of the game's old files. I don't know, but it looks amazing. It looks really tall as well. We have the cage. So in other words, I think what's going to happen here is that Townsville Zoo and the Townsville Aquarium are going to be located nearby each other. So, you know, this is Townsville Park, right? This is Townsville Center. So probably if they're going to be nearby, these two locations right here are probably going to be the most likely areas, and probably not this one. I would expect it to be located roughly around here. That's a significant photo. There's an octopus at the top of the aquarium. Okay, let's copy image. Oh yeah, so we have the cage here. So we can make an educated guess since they're nearby. It's going to be like within these two areas right here. It's really tall. There's a purple structure right here, and honestly kind of reminds me of, there's going to be like a huge slide. So thinking back in terms of Bravo Beach infected zone, you know how there's like a huge, not huge, but there's like a long slide from the very top to the very bottom. I wouldn't be surprised if they reuse that idea here. It looks like a sort of water slide, right? So you go to the very top, and then eventually you take a huge water slide down to the bottom. And in terms of monsters that we could potentially see, to be honest, I would be kind of disappointed if they reuse existing monsters, kind of like, you know, for example, like the squid scaler or like those fish monsters. And I think it would be really cool if you can actually have brand new monsters within that area. We already saw brand new monsters, technically brand new, because like there was like those ape monsters, but it would be nice for them to be new monsters. Let's go into page 3. "98.5% confirmation." Like, it literally says Townsville Aquarium on the title. Now, the aquarium is something to actually really interested as well. Actually, oh, I just noticed something. Well, if you were to go like zoom in, it kind of corrupts the photo. But if like these structures right here, these small dots, they kind of look like fish, right? They look like fish inside of this infected zone. Now the question is this an infected zone? I think very likely will be. And these structures right here, this looks like structures from like a snail or like an oyster. We have like these sea anemones right here, are like sea plants. And I guess if you're to go touch them, they're gonna go sting you, and you're temporarily stunned. Something that would be really cool is once you're inside of the infected zone, you actually wear some scuba diving gear. And it's completely different from the rest of the other infected zones. So wear your scuba diving gear, you can go up, and the entire area is just filled with water. That's very unlikely, but it looks to me that the aquarium is going to be one of the more interesting brand new locations for FusionFall Legacy. Oh, so apparently, I just noticed this. So like the ones who post the photo are the ones who are also responsible for making the title of the thread. Okay, let's go. We're almost done. Wow, we're actually going relatively fast. Or no, we're going just at the right pace. Fusion Grim. Okay. Here we have a photo of this. Fusion Grim was spotted in the woods near the haunted mines. If you're heading out that way, be careful. So this is probably going to be a callback to Haunted Ridge or Crystalline Caverns. In the back, we see a terrafuser. We see some crystals here. Now, something that that's really nice to go see, it would have to be the fact the eerie mist within the area. Something that that felt somewhat fundamentally lacking inside of the game that we have right now would have to be like when you, for example, enter actually no. So like a great place that has a great sort of scenery would have to be Ennsville, because when you go around and move around the houses, you see a lot of smoke or noxious fusion matter escaping the house. You can definitely tell it's been infected. But whereas with like other areas, right, they don't have that. And it's nice to see that there's mist here. It looks purple. It's purplish, and I'm kind of wondering, why is it purple? Like when you think of mist, you think of white, right? Like, or purple fog. And it kind of does make you kind of wonder. Like there were some previous photos. I think it was one of the very first ones, like going to page 7 or page 6. Let's go to page 6. Or Sector V, picnic area? Nope, not that one. Dexter Family Robot. No, page 6. It was one of the very first ones. Park. Not that one. Oh, but Mining Town, right? Page 7. Somewhere here. Summerland Residence. We have this Mining Town. Oh, something that I recently noticed is that it also has a purple-ish atmosphere, so we can probably assume. Oh, so this is not Haunted Ridge nor Crystalline Caverns. This is definitely at Pimpleback Mountains. So Fusion Grim is going to be located at Pimpleback Mountains. Now, if you can still remember, while you were doing missions at Pimpleback Mountains as well as for Crystalline Caverns, there were like 2 times where you had to go defeat Fusion Grim. So hopefully, let's just very quickly search up FusionFall World missions again, and yeah, let's go there. So Crystalline or Pimple Crystalline. There's no missions there. Pimpleback Mountains. The Book of Prophecy. It has to be hard. The difficulty is hard. Normal. Head to totem. Easy. Oh no, it definitely involves Grim. Hard. Okay. Fusing among the ruins. Don't fear the Reaper. I think it's this one right here. Part 4 of 4. Crystalline. Breaker Bears. Yes, it's this one right here. So, Don't Fear the Reaper, Part 4 of 4, is where you have to go do a mission in order for yourself to encounter Fusion Grim. So hopefully, perhaps maybe Lego Megazord did this one. So let's go to YouTube and Don't Fear the Reaper, Part 4 of 4. This guy made a video about it 4 years ago. Yeah, 2009. Wow, it's a 10-year-old mission. And yeah, so you go here to Pimpleback Mountains. Again, credit to Lego Megazord. Going up inside of the mountain, and yeah. And then you battle Fusion Grim right there. So there probably might be an updated part for Don't Fear the Reaper. You might be roaming outside, or probably it's kind of overthinking it as well. But speaking about fusion layers, I brought this up in a previous live stream, and I was talking about like one of the major complaints when it comes to fusion layers is that it's basically the same underground tunnels. There's probably like 4 to 5 variations of these tunnels, and it's very kind of disappointing that it's like that. And hopefully inside of FusionFall Legacy, they don't have to do this for every layer, but I think it would be nice that for every nano mission, when you go inside of a layer, it has its own customized design for it. And I believe the other mission, so FusionFall Nano missions for Grim, involves you to Grim. Things look grim. Oh, this is inside of the ruins, not Crystalline Caverns. Oh wow, This is his former design. Okay, so here's what Zach told me. Now, it may not be correct, but it makes enough sense to me. Primary, a nano that has a mission and is required to be done for you to advance in the story. Fusions are inside of the layer. A secondary nano is a nano that has a mission that isn't required to be done to advance. It's an optional nano mission. Fusion is still inside of the layer. A tertiary nano is a nano that has no mission and can be obtained from defeating a roaming fusion outside of the layer. That's kind of like the more interesting one, the tertiary. I definitely do believe that there's going to be like a secondary nano where it's optional for you to do the nano mission or not. But I guess if you're like a completionist, you would want to do every single one, right? So this is like the previous photo of Fusion Grim. Now, definitely they have upgraded his look. So let's do a compare and contrast. Okay, so 1920 by 1080, and here is the one. Here's the new version, very elongated, and here is the and here's the old designer, the one we have right now. Yeah, this is, get some more space here. So yeah, they definitely changed the way that on how Fusion Grim looks. He has a much more massive skeleton head here, whereas this one right here looks much more of an actual kind of skeleton. His eyes have changed from orange to a dark red. And I don't know, his hands definitely look different. You can see for this one, you can see like the bubbles inside of the fusion matter coursing through him, whereas his hands and his head, they're not doing that. Another design change would have to be his mouth, whereas the old one doesn't really have this one anymore. Another design change would have to be his scythe. So this one right here, it's brown and green. This one it's pure on mostly black. Another design change would have to be his robe. Fusion Grim has a much more green, dark green robe, whereas for this one it's just black. So there's a lot of changes going on with the Fusion Grim that we have now versus the one planned for FusionFall Legacy. And page 3. Yeah, so there's definitely been a significant upgraded look for Fusion Grim. And we're on our last 3. Wow. We're on good pace right now. Mandark Industries interior featuring Robot Jones. Wow. So I don't know who Robot Jones is. Interestingly enough, he has a bobblehead inside of FusionFall Retro, which was released during the 2019 birthday bash. These lava lamp inspired hallways are a Mandark Industries staple. I wonder who does the interior decorating around here anyway. So that's great. We can finally go inside of probably Mandark's house. And they've been planning this for a long time as well. So let's just go into FusionFall development database. And let's see. Let's look for Robot Jones. Robot Jones. Yes, here we go. Right there. What page was this on? Yeah, it's on the second page. Maybe there's more here. Let's go type in Mandark. Nope. Okay. Page 2. Mandark. So yeah, he's been planned for a very long time. This was posted way back in 2015, June 27. And yeah, here's Buckshot Russell. But below that would be this. But that's not all. As you may have guessed from the title, a certain robot has joined the FusionFall universe as well. Say hello to Robot Jones. Hey, what's that Mandark Industries branding doing on him? Yeah, that's kind of weird. Why does he have that? And as a person who's never watched a single episode of Robot Jones, it makes me kind of wonder. Mandark has always been insanely jealous of Dexter's robotic assistant Computress. And when he stumbles across Robot Jones one day, he sees this as a golden opportunity and hires, and by that we mean he basically just stole him, Jones onto the Mandark Industries staff, placing him in charge of pretty much every Mandroid in the greater downtown area. Robot Jones doesn't really know what he's doing, of course, but he's certainly determined. Okay, so that's actually the first time I'm reading this. That's really interesting. So if Computress is the one in charge of all of like the Dex bots that Dexter has, I wouldn't be too surprised that Mandark will do something else as well. Here he is, very happily holding Robot Jones like he is the father of him. And so yeah, here we have the character reveal. All right. Okay, so there is some other photos as well for that that I have on my folder. Hopefully, yeah, here's some more artwork from very, very old, like 2015 or probably 2014. They've had this idea for a very long time now. And here's another one right here with Robot Jones holding the portrait for Mandark. He's trying to go paint himself. And yeah, so another thing that we can do right now is to try and figure out who the heck is Robot Jones. I've never watched a single episode of that show, so I'm kind of curious who he is. So it's actually one of the much more terrible cartoons, it seems, according to the ratings. 6.3 out of 10 on IMDb and a 7.3 on TV.com. Ran for 2 years. It has a number of 13 episodes, or 14 if you can include the pilot. He was around from 2002 to 2003, and hopefully he has a Wikipedia page or a Wikia. That's good to know. He apparently has a family, a mom unit, a dad unit, and a grandpa unit. So he's kind of like a human boy. The only robot student at the school. He learns new things every day in life and keeps each life lesson in his data log entry archives. Robot is specifically a KX8 model robot designed by the JNZ Robotics. Alright, so what does his mom, dad, and grandpa look like? I'm kind of curious. So he's not just an ordinary robot. Oh, that's his mom. That's very interesting. And here's his dad. Wow, this is really odd. This is his grandpa. Wow. Unique designs right there. What's his personality like? Robot is programmed with a wealth of knowledge. The knowledge is incomplete when interacting with humans. His favorite subject is math. He does not have sufficient skills in writing composition. Possesses a genius level. He does not excel in every subject. He's unable to advance early to neither high school nor university. Okay, appearance, water, partially water resistant. That's really cool. School life. I kind of want to go read more about this. I'm not really sure if I should watch the episode just so I can have some lore knowledge of who Robot Jones really is. But just to go mention again, Universal Item Guide. The link is inside of the description. The Robot Jones bobblehead is inside of the. Well, this is the first time where there's literally only just one person using the document right now. Okay, so it is 2:43 in the morning. Now, something I was talking about birthday bash. Okay, so yeah, here he is, Robot Jones bobblehead. That's what he looks like. Okay, so something else that I kind of want to go talk about would have to be a lava lamp inspired hallway. So again, just imagine this photo is animated. You're kind of like inside of a lava lamp thing, and there's bubbles moving around. It's interesting to know that this guy is in charge of all of the mandroids at the downtown area. Now, just going back into the FusionFall Legacy trailer, it makes me kind of wonder where Robot Jones is going to be located. Now, obviously, it looks like he's inside of like Mandark's Industries lab, but just going back into FusionFall Legacy trailer, we definitely see this one right here. So it kind of looks like it's at the suburbs or probably downtown or probably like a revamped look for Tech Square. So probably Robot Jones is inside of the interior of this. Okay. We're looking on to our second last one. And okay. Dizzyville off the rails. All right, so it appears to me that there's been a significant change with the infected zone or the location, which is a city point. While Disney World was never exactly the most high budget theme park, the thrills were off the rails. Of course, we mean that literally. Okay. All right. So they've definitely changed it, and as you can see, the entrance has changed. If you can recall, when you're at City Point, you have to go on top of a jump pad, you have to go on top of the rail, and then you go through the infected zone. I always found that kind of inconvenient, so I'm really glad to know that the entrance has been redesigned, and that there's kind of like a ticket thing here. It'd be nice to have like a Dex bot saying, "Do you have a ticket to go inside?" And you just go inside. It's kind of odd. Like, why the heck is this here? And it would be cool, again, kind of going back to that idea where you can actually have food inside of the game that you can purchase and place inside of your inventory. So this, like a food vendor here, he's gonna sell you like burgers, cotton candy, a smoothie, and you can take that with you inside, and it will give you some sort of effect, kind of like possibly, I don't know, a health boost or a boost for your nanos. So it's going into the background. There's definitely been some changes. So hopefully that the ghost freak structure is still there. There's this structure right here that's brand new. But yeah, something to try and go look forward to once it's officially out. Now, something that a lot of people don't know when it comes to City Point, or particularly the one that we have right now, is that there's actually a Powerpuff Girls structure for the place, and hopefully someone has posted this online. FusionFall, City Point, Powerpuff Girls. They did not post it, unfortunately. Okay, let's see. Let's hopefully open. Maybe it's inside of the map. So yeah, City Point is the very first one here, and I'm referring to this structure right here. Now, if you were to go on top of the rail and you were to face where the parking lot is, or like where blue is located, you're actually going to see the Powerpuff Girls as a street painting. It's a nice little hidden detail. Oh, here's a much better photo of this. Let's go check out the FusionFall wiki. But yeah, let's go here. As you can see, we have, I think, Blossom. This is probably Buttercup, probably Bubbles. So let's just okay, let's screen capture this one, and let's go rotate it. Image, rotate, and as you can see, yeah, this is what it looks like. Unfortunately, there's no photo of it online, at least to my knowledge, but I would recommend you going there if you want to check it out. Small little interesting detail. Theme park? What? The sky is no longer green here. Now, in the future, which is going to be part 5 of this live stream, and I hope you stick around, there's going to be some interesting characters that are going to appear at City Point. It was kind of already teased if you had like a sharp eye when I was searching up the images for City Point. Yeah, they changed the infected zone walls. So just going back to the FusionFall Legacy. Going back, how come I haven't liked this one yet? Really odd. Going back to the FusionFall Legacy Tech Square one, they've changed the infected zone area. Right there, here's a beautiful view of what this is. It's a lot. It's much more dome shaped. Floating rocks. Here it is at a much more closer view. danger, infected zone. Really nice. Really nice. We have these terrafusers moving around. There's a lot of beautiful things to look at within this photo. Now, let's go back to the image. They changed the benches. And I believe that's where Blue was located, as well as with a K&D operative as well. Let's go to page 3. Okay. And now we have our last photo that we're going to go talk about for part 4 of this live stream series, which is going to be recording in 3, 2, 1. And it's just a blank camera, 10 milliseconds. Insolent child, do you even know how to operate that device? I know how to use a camera. What would I look like, my mom? Just give me a sec. Who could this possibly be? Muscle Man? Yes, you got it all right. Some of the text sounds like Mojo or him. Nope, but it is a villain. Definitely a conversation between him and Billy. 5 Nights at Freddy was crossing over. Yes, VV Argos has a TV show, so Insolent Child also sounds like him. Yes, he got it right. It's actually VV Argos. Yes, magical dealer. He's a prophet. And it's just them trying to go predict who it's going to be. It's honestly incredible that you guys can actually predict who's saying this stuff. Not only is he a local with the Grim Reaper as a roommate, but he would be willing to do whatever Argos wanted. That actually does make sense, but they definitely have Argos right in the money. Oh, I didn't know that. In the original game, VV Argos was supposed to be on a monster island with the mother of all blowfish, filming a cryptid show called Weird World. I think the devs are going to rework this idea, but I'm not sure if it will have anything to do with a blowfish or maybe even another cryptid. The My Mom part makes me believe that is Muscle Man. If they are together, perhaps maybe even High Five Ghost could be with them. Yeah, this person is a prophet. Now, trying to go back with the regular show, didn't like Muscle Man kept on making jokes with his mother? So I think that's where people have something to go believe that it is him. Yes, he makes a lot of mom jokes. A banter between Mr. Harriman and Frankie. So here they are just trying to go speculate on who it is. Magical Dealer was the first one to have figured or predicted who it's going to be. And yeah, that's kind of pretty nice. So that's part 4 of this picture of the day live stream. That's great to know. And part 5 is going to be whenever I decide to go do that. And yeah, we did a lot. We discussed a lot of stuff for people that are watching this in the future, or people watching this right now. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. We're going to do all of these photos here. Man, it takes like 3.5 hours to go do all of this stuff. But yeah, it's always a pleasure to do this. And yeah, please leave a like, please comment, please subscribe, please join a Discord server, and check out the Universal Item Guide. The links are inside of the description, and I will see you later. Goodbye.